Welcome to Bit-by-Bit-Code channel. In this today video, we are going to learn about the async and await and fetch API and why we are using the async and await. Then, we are having the promises and still why we are moving to the async and await. But here, there was a one scenario called callback hell. So to overcome that callback hell, they have introduced the promises. But in promises, we are having one another scenario called promise chaining, so that to overcome that solution they have introduced the async and await. In this one, we will learn about the async and await. First we will understand what is the definition of async and await. So here, okay, just a second. Yeah. So in this one, the async keyword in JavaScript is used to define an asynchronous function which allow you to work with asynchronous operation in a more reliable way. So in this one, if you want, you can take this definition, or else you can just in easy words you can understand. Like whenever we're using the async keyword, at that moment it is converting the normal function to a asynchronous function. That means that function is if it is taking it will be moved to the event loop and call stack when it has been completed, but it will not block the other code. So await in the sense, the await keyword can be used inside the function to pause its execution until a promise is resolved or rejected. Are you getting here? So instead of getting pending, so in this one, like await keyword, what it used to do, like inside the function, it will pause the execution until and unless it will get in data or else reject the data. So we will go through that example and understand how it is working. So before that, I'll create one function as okay. And before this one, we will learn about the fetch API. And okay, we will do one thing. We will learn the fetch API, including the by using the async and await. For that, I will create one function like fetch API, fetch API using the async and await. So this is your normal function, and in this one, I haven't added anything like keywords about the sync and await. So for this one, this is a normal function. Now for this normal function, we need to convert it as a asynchronous function. Now this function is converted as a asynchronous and non-blocking code, where it will not block the previous code and other things. Like we are just having the simple code. For that, we will not get any blockage or anything. But in the industrial use, we need to use like these things. And then okay, before this one, I will take one API, dummy API, uh, API is equal to await. Okay, it will wait until the data is being fetched from that API, await. And then fetch. Fetch is a keyword, so make sure that you are adding it properly. HTTPS colon double slash, okay, HTTPS colon double slash API dot github, okay, API dot github.com/users. And then after this one, we need to parse the data. Okay, without parsing, I will show you like how we will get the data. I'll just write save this one and API, and then I already started the port. Okay, and then I will start the server. Okay, I will refresh. Okay, now you can see I have got the data inside this one. I have been getting that body and some other things like promises and like many things like API tree, and these are many things, but there is no data inside this one. To get the data, like we need to parse it to the normal readable JSON format. So for that, what I will do, I will use let data is equal to await. Okay, await API dot JSON. That's it. Okay, API dot JSON, and then inside this one, I will make it as data normal. Let data is equal to await API dot JSON. So what it is doing, it is converting the data. And then if I go back, and then now if I refresh this page, now you can see this here. I'm getting the proper data. So here you have got to know what the what the main thing has happened here. Like if you are not using this .json, then the data will be not in the readable format. So make sure that whenever you're adding, we need to convert it to the .json. And apart from this one, And here you can see I'm getting the lot of data, like around getting the 30 data. If this API is not working, then use the JSON placeholder API. You can in the Google you can get it easily. Okay, and then inside this one avatar URL events, like ID, name, and many things are there. Like so in the upcoming video we will do one thing, like we will take one API of a movie API or else anything, some dummy API, and then inside this one, like we will try to get the movie name and hero or else the poster like avatar, and some like other things we will try to do in the next coming video. So we what we have did, we have used the prompt, this one async and await. And then apart from this one, here the one main thing is there, like async and await is runs on promises. So here that means async and await, what it is going to do, it is going to work with the promises. Like if I console.log of this one, okay, you can see here I'm getting on promise. So this promise has been resolved, but that means like what it going to returns, it going to return the promises. So make sure that like in the like in the interview perspective, few times they will ask the question about this one, like what the async and await is going to return. So here async and await are going to return the promises, like whether it is working or not. And then apart from this one here, where you will get the data in the sense, like if if you're using the Axios, then okay, then we can learn another one thing. Okay, in maybe in the upcoming video I will show you how to use using the Axios. So Axios is one of the library, I will tell you about that one later. So apart from that, like what we have did, async function, then API fetch API, and then we have called this. Okay, and I will remove this console.log. That's it. And here, and one thing, like suppose if you want only the few data, okay, generally we are getting the lot of content, but we don't want that much of data. We just require the minimum data. So at that time, like we are getting the 30 data, but what if it is getting 300 data or else more than that? So at that time, I required only 10 or 15. So at that moment, what I will do, I will use the slice method. So for that, final data, okay, final data is equal to data dot slice, okay, data dot slice 0 comma 10, and then final data, okay, 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 whatever that spelling may be, final data. And then if I refresh this one now, you can see I'm getting the only 10 data as from 0 1 to 3 to 9, and it will neglect the 10th position. Why? Because it will start from the 0 index. So we are having the 10 data inside this one. So this is the uh, content about the async and await and the uh, fetch API also. And if you want like data of the fetch API, you can take down this one. Like fetch API makes makes it easy to get the information from a website and do something with that data in the given browser, like something I have written. So and then apart from that, these are the main thing. Like these are the five different methods. These are the API methods, like get method, post method, put, patch, and delete. So like what get data in the sense, like it is going to like get the data from the API, and post in the sense like when the we are using the login registers or something, at that moment we will use the post method. Why? Because it is a one of the most secure. And by this one post method, like we can push the data or else we can get the data, both the things can be happen. And put in the sense, like put and patch both are little bit same, like one is going to replace, another one is going to just change little bit piece of part. And delete in the sense, what is a delete. And then okay, and this is the one another scenario, like fetch API using the promises. In the next video, I'm going to tell about the Axios and how to fetch API using the promises, and why we are using the two dot then here. So these are the main concepts about the fetch API, async and await. And like if you are having any doubts, you can just comment. And thanks for watching the video.